I am the vice president of a technology company, and I have kind of a couple different roles I play, from sales to a management role within the company.
Okay. Now, how did you get in that type of position? What was your career and education path that led you there?
I have a marketing degree, so I've always been in a sales role, sales background, and that led me into this current role of into the vice president, kind of leading the operations as well for the company.
Okay. About how many experience or how many years of experience do you have in the working world now?
Yeah, I about 22 years.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
What would you say is the best thing about what you do? You know, if there was one thing when you wake up every morning and you were just kind of like, I can't live without this thing in my job, what would that be?
I like connecting with people. I like, as a consulting company, we're helping people solve some problems, and I love being able to come in there, help them solve a problem, help someone find a position, make a match, and just at the end of the day feel good that I've kind of played a small role in making their lives better, or their job better, or their company better.
Okay. Now, on an opposite angle, if there was one thing that you could just absolutely do without, you know, if it was just like, oh, this particular responsibility would just go away, what would that be?
It's funny. I mean, I like the people, but honestly, the most frustrating part is dealing with the people too. I've been in sales I was selling products, but you sell people. They walk and talk, have their own issues and concerns, and I've got to come in there sometimes and clean up some messes that people create for themselves, either intentionally or unintentionally. And that's probably the most frustrating part of my role as well.
Yeah. Any horror stories?
It's just, there's been so many over the years. I've been in this job for about 13, and just people not doing some basic things, some basic etiquette, and just realizing how you treat others. I mean, it's just kind of funny. You think even in the professional workplace, they'd be beyond that. But sometimes I joke we never really get out of junior high. You know, some of the folks do, and they like I said, cause their own problems or do things that you just got to scratch your head sometimes and say, why would you do that? Why would you think that would be okay? And
These are the customers you're talking about.
no, actually, these are the
staff.
consultants. We're bringing the people. Customers, they're going to be fickle and funny, but no, I have about 60 contractors right now that we have, and you know, depending on the day or the time, sometimes, you know, I've had to let a lot of people go because of things or whatever.
Mm-hmm. What would you say are the top 3 skills necessary to be successful in your role?
People skills, being able to listen, and kind of put yourselves in their shoes and understand where they're coming from, and being a problem solver.
Okay. A lot of people use that term people skills. What do you mean by that?
Being able to have a conversation, communicate, again, listening is a big part of that, not just saying what you've got to say. Listen to what they're saying, internalize it, you know, and try to respond in an appropriate way that, again, trying to help them understand what they're trying to accomplish. And just manners, just some professional etiquette and manners that, like I said, surprises me even at a professional level that sometimes don't exist. And I would definitely encourage, especially the younger generation, try to get back to that, because honestly, I know I'm starting to become old school. I'm starting to feel like the newer kids coming out don't have that sense of again, manners and etiquette and you know, personal accountability and responsibility.
Right. So hypothetically, if someone wanted your job, you know, tomorrow, maybe a little bit longer term than that, obviously, but what are 2 kind of short-term action steps that they could take to start heading down the path to your position?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say, again, to me, sales, I think a lot of things involve sales, whether you're directly in sales or not. So to understand kind of the selling process, understand objections, again, how to talk to people, how to help them clarify what they're trying to accomplish, and learning those skills, again, to be able to sell and to be able to effectively communicate, written and verbal skills. I think those are the two keys for any career, not really just mine, but those are the two things I've got to do every day.
So what's a good way to get sales experience? So whether, if you're a high school kid, a college kid, or anything like that, I mean, how can you go out and kind of get some of that, what would you say, expertise?
I have a 14-year-old daughter that's selling candy bars for a field trip she wants to be on, and I'm not doing it for her. I'm kind of forcing her, again, just getting into dialogue with people, and honestly, asking mom and dad for the car keys is sales.
Mm.
When you're trying to further your objective, again, just how are you going to communicate that? Are you going to demand it? Are you going to try to understand what their objections they might have? How are you going to overcome that? It's really it's a communication thing. It's not do A, B, and C, and then you automatically get D. It's the interaction and with your friends. What movie you see? I mean, how do you get them to see your way of thinking?
Great.
Does that answer the question?
Yes, it does. That's all I have for you. So,
Okay.
thank
All
you.
right. Sure.